Now, everyone experiences anxiety, including myself. Anxiety is, for example, fear of the future or a possible threat. Anxiety causes our bodies to respond in many ways. For example, a fast beating heart, fast breathing, butterflies in the stomach, sweating, and some trembling. And our mental responses are excessive fears, worries, and obsessive thinking. Now, a little bit of anxiety is normal. Think about it. Did you ever have butterflies in your stomach before doing a public speaking or taking a test, an exam? However, when feelings become excessive, all-consuming, and interfere with our daily lives, that's an indication that your anxiety is a problem. Are you aware that you worry all the time about the future? People deal with anxiety differently. Some people drink alcohol to suppress emotions and thoughts. Drugs do the same. Drugs suppress what's going on in the mind, but this is only temporary. It doesn't fix the issue. So I had a client who was fearful of the future. She desperately wanted to change every area in her life. She always felt stuck because nothing was changing. Even though she had her own business, it wasn't going anywhere. Bills were piling up and she was barely making ends meet. Most people experience anxiety right before they go to bed. Their mind is rested and it starts to get busy with thoughts, and your thinking runs wild. You cannot control it. So this was exactly what my client was experiencing. As soon as she tried to go to bed, her mind kept her up that night. Remember, the mind cannot be in two places at the same time. During the day she worked, she didn't have time to think, but anxiety kicked in when she was relaxed and ready to go to bed. So because my client had a lot of anxiety, she needed help. So the first thing we did together was to identify the anxiety. My client said, "I don't want my business to fail." One thing I want to point out is, what did you notice about my client's language? I don't want my business to fail. You see, the unconscious mind is unable to process negative predicates. So the unconscious mind is picking this up instead. I want my business to fail. For example, if you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be alone, the unconscious mind processes this. I want to be alone. The unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. It doesn't like negativity. So be careful how you talk to yourself. My client wasn't conscious on how she was thinking. She was on autopilot. So the first thing I did to help my client was to make her aware of her anxiety and how she was wording her worries. This is the first thing you have to do if you're in a similar situation. Be aware of your worries and thoughts. What's exactly causing your anxiety? What's keeping you up at night? When did you decide to worry? That's an important question. You see, with anxiety, we tend to ask a lot of questions like, what if? What if this happens? What if this goes wrong? What if this fails? We ask so many questions, but we never consider the answers. My client had more bills than money flowing into the business. When I asked my client what would happen if her business failed, she obviously responded with, she wouldn't be able to pay her bills. And then I asked her, what haven't you tried? My client went silent for a while and then mentioned that she would probably try to learn marketing on social media. My client wasn't very up to her skills when it came to social media, and she kind of knew that she had to upgrade her skills. So to my listeners, always remember, you have choices and you have options. What are your answers to your worries? Maybe you need to upgrade your skills. Maybe you need to change your environment. Or maybe you need to change your behavior. Here's a tip. Write down your worries on a piece of paper and the answers to your worries. I guarantee that you won't feel so overwhelmed by your worries, and the shift in your thinking will make a difference. Think about the possible options. Think about what you can do. Apart from being aware of your worries, now imagine handling your worries. What else can you do? If there's nothing you can do, sometimes you need to let things unfold. I get it, sometimes we love to be in control, but sometimes we need to let things go and let them unfold. Remember, anxiety presents itself as reasonable and true. Besides from my client's anxiety, she also believed that she was stuck. Even though she wanted to move forward, she negatively believed that she was stuck. Not moving forwards or backward, just stuck. Her belief was stopping her from making any changes or even moving forward. So together we worked together and had that old belief replaced with I am moving forward. If you want a positive belief, you must focus and see it in your mind's eye. In other words, give it intention. You must see it, hear it, and feel it. This is very, very important. You have to believe. Do it every day. You see, behind every negative belief, there is a lie. Limits exist if you believe that to be true. You can cope with whatever comes to you. If you lose your job, you will cope. If you get divorced, your heart will heal and you will love again. Compulsive worry leads to unhealthy behavior patterns that can cause difficulties in daily functioning. Another way to lower your anxiety is to take a deep breath in slowly through your nose and breathe out slowly through your mouth. Now, if you don't know, you're probably wondering, how does this help with my anxiety? Well, it does. By adjusting the speed and depth of breathing, the brain and lungs can regulate the blood pH minute by minute. That's a fact. Now, you're going to hate this next one, but don't take your phone to bed. You probably watch your favorite TV show to distract your mind and to fall asleep. It actually does quite the opposite. Let me explain why you shouldn't take your phone to bed. Smartphone screen, also known as the blue light, interferes with the normal production of melatonin, which is a hormone, to help you sleep. See, the brain believes it's still daytime. It works like this. When the sun goes down, the body produces melatonin for us to sleep. The blue light acts like let's say like an artificial sun. When the sun rises and you wake up, the melatonin is overridden by the normal amount of serotonin to face the day and to take action. So don't take your phone to bed because it interferes with the melatonin. Just try. I highly recommend, instead of taking your phone to bed, read a book. It's going to be hard for the first couple of times, but trust me, you will fall asleep much easily if you read a book instead of looking at your phone. Also, practice mindfulness. Go for a walk and really look around. What's around you? Really admire the trees, the people that walk past, your neighborhood. Really appreciate what you are seeing in this present moment. You have to live in the present moment because who knows what will happen tomorrow or next week. Appreciate that you can breathe and you are alive today. Also, what are you grateful for? Do you acknowledge the people in your life who care for you? You see, gratitude is shown in acts. You need to express it. Not write it down in a journal. That's all good, but you need to express it. You need to make sure and show the universe that you are grateful for the people in your life and for having your health and body. Remember, don't hold on to anxiety. It only causes pain. You have all the resources you need and you are doing your best every day. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Start loving yourself unconditionally. Whatever challenges are thrown at you, make sure you hit back twice as hard. My name is Samantha Garcia. Thank you for listening.